Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles. The second game streaming solely on Amazon Prime. The Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. And I want to start with the Amazon thing. I'm just fascinated by this Amazon streaming NFL. I mean, I know that they streamed simultaneously, but now it is truly only on Amazon. It's such a time of change. And the reports are that they had 13 million viewers in week 2, which certain experts had expected like 6 to 7 million, even though Amazon said it was going to be about 12 and a half. Fire those experts? I don't know. Or maybe the number will come down for Trubisky versus Brissett in the wind. They got you subscribed with Mahomes, Herbert. Now welcome to Thursday night hell. But it's hard for me. It's such a transitional time for football. And football is just something that, you know, is full of nostalgia. It's weird for me that dive bars across the country don't have football on tonight. You know, unless they're like hooked up to Apple TV or Roku or Fire Sticks at the, you know, up on their walls or something. I usually like the idea that the game is going to me, but it's also going to some, you know, open door neon sign dive bar, you know, in Texas, or there's these huddled basement taverns in Ohio with the game in the corner. You know, I like that feeling. It wasn't on in those places tonight. It wasn't on at the restaurant we were at this evening. I'm looking over at the bar. They're showing Ravens Dolphins over in the corner because they have cable. They didn't have Amazon Prime. It's just a strange fluctuation time. I'm really interested to see where it goes. I mean, Amazon is like, it's an 11-year contract with Thursday Night Football. What will this look like in 2033? I think it's great. I think we'll, you know, I'm not against it, just interested. So, as for the game, those of you not subscribed, the Steelers are not happy. Mitch Trubisky, the man that people in Chicago who are paid to evaluate talent traded up to select over Mahomes, over Watson. Mitch Trubisky is a total, utter, and complete joke. I mean, he sucked in Chicago, and they're the last little vestiges, whatever that word is, the last little grains of hope were that last year he understudied under Josh Allen, and now the pressure might be off a little bit more. No, Mitch Trubisky can't play. Through 3 games, the Steelers have went 3 and out on 32% of their drives. The Warren Sharp tweet that he put out. A third of their drives are going 3 and out. Now, I'm no Kenny Pickett fan, but Trubisky is done. It's time to get Pickett in there. And what a win for the Browns. Going 2-1, such a big difference from 1-2, obviously. But 2-1, I mean, they're leaving the window open here that they could be in contention when Mr. Innocent gets back. It's on the table after a wild start, beating the Panthers with that 58-yard kick from their rookie kicker, and then losing to the Jets with 99% win probability. It was nice to see Brownie the Elf get a win. Brownie the Elf, the new midfield logo in Cleveland. I'm on the record as liking it. It was a primetime audience tonight. I'm interested to hear how people felt about this new logo. The Cleveland fans voted for it. It was the logo for the Browns in the late 40s when they were in the AAFC, and then the early 50s when the Paul Brown Browns, you know, they came over with Otto Graham and Marion Motley, and they just shocked the NFL. And then Jim Brown had his early MVPs, 57, 58, while Brownie the Elf was still the logo. And then it was removed in the early 60s. So I asked my wife, Kathleen, what she thought about it. She said, it looks like an angry red-headed elf. She kind of likes it. I shall take your football, is the voice that she gave Brownie. So we're 2 for 2, approved. And last week, Brownie watched some heartache. Watched, a missed extra point to his left, a ball sail over his face, blown coverage, touchdown to Corey Davis, an onside kick recovered right under his feet. Then to Brownie's right, Flacco marched them. It was hard for Brownie. In hibernation for 60 years, and he wakes up to this factory of sadness. Well, today, Brownie the Elf, the new Browns midfield logo, or new old Browns midfield logo, and got to enjoy a win. Nick Chubb, 113 yards, looking fantastic. Amari Cooper, 101 yards. Surprisingly great timing with Jacoby Brissett. Just a good day. Good day for the Browns. Though, I mean, they were nervous. They were up 9. And then the Steelers kicked that field goal. Then they kicked that onside kick. And Browns fans, just the sound of them, they were so nervous after having blown that huge lead against the Jets, 4 days ago? That onside kick was almost recovered, too. It was wobbling. And then, of course, the Browns, they waste some time and they punt it back to the Steelers. And then with 9 seconds left, Trubisky throws a check down with 97 yards to go, because that's what the Steelers always do for some reason. There's this meaningless hook and ladder right there, and it goes bananas. Al Michaels, that's going to be a touchdown. There's no extra point, and that may be meaningful to some of you, and you know who I mean. Al Michaels, always a finger on the gambling world, of course. He was the bad boy back when it was bad to talk about gambling. This was an ultra bad beat for so many gamblers out there to have this hook and ladder go 20 yards backwards and this Steeler to fumble it into the end zone and the Browns to score. For fantasy football as well, I'm sure. So that's probably the most consequential play of this game on Amazon Prime. All right, welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. This show is football, everything, NFL history, legacy, the ups and downs of a season. Follow us at MUK_football on Twitter or YouTube. Subscribe, share, review on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you get your podcasts. We have shows Thursday after Thursday Night Football, Sunday after Sunday Night Football, and Monday after Monday Night Football. Let's get into previewing week 3. I always take 4 games. I pick the lines, make my picks, and then we see what happens. I'm 7-1 so far, and let's start. The Buffalo Bills, 2-0, traveled down to Florida to face the 2-0 Miami Dolphins. Everything's feeling good about the Bills right now. This is their year. This is their year to lose, basically. They had Jim Kelly out there. I called that out. They had 96-year-old Marv Levy out there with a microphone, 4-time AFC champion coach, a coach for all 4 Super Bowl losses, but all 4 Super Bowl appearances, by the way. And he did his little speech. Is where would you rather be than right here, right now? The whole crowd did it with him. Brings damn tears to your eyes. Buffalo, I'm rooting for you. I am absolutely rooting for Buffalo. And they're going to Florida, which is always tough. Those cold weather teams going to Florida in September, it ain't fun. And Miami is hot, right? 6 touchdowns, the big comeback against the Ravens. I actually said Tua, made some pretty bad throws to Tyreek Hill. Somebody flipped the video on Twitter so that it looked like Tua was throwing his passes right-handed. And for whatever reason, just a trick of the brain, I guess, it just looked way better. I actually retweeted it on Monday. You can follow me there at MUK_football. You can see it. But this doesn't mean I'm going Miami. I want to see one more good game, not just the desperate comeback. Tyreek Hill and Waddle, they're for real, 2 of the fastest receivers on this planet. But I still want to see more from Tua, especially against the Buffalo Bills, who are just steamrolling right now. They got some injury concerns. Like I said, they got Florida. That's a dangerous place. But I'm going to take Buffalo to cover the 5.5 points that they are favored. So I think Buffalo's going to beat Miami by a touchdown here. All right, next game. Rams at Cardinals. The Rams are 1-1. The Cardinals are 1-1. I am 7-1, by the way, on my picks with the spreads here. I mean, I'm doing great. Get ready for me to go like 0-4 in a couple weeks here. I feel like the other shoe is gonna drop, but I really don't feel like I deserved the win. I picked the Cardinals over the Raiders. I picked them to win because I said Arizona was better than people thought. Well, the Cardinals won, and I could not have been less impressed. I mean, I mentioned it in my winners and losers of week 2 on my podcast on Monday. The thing that made the Cardinals down 20 points at halftime to the Raiders was their actual game plan, their actual offense. The thing that made them win was Kyler hero ball. The same thing he tried against the Rams in the wild card in one of the worst things ever put to playoff tape. Kyler was a joke in that game. It was so bad. And even, so this is sounding like bashing on Kyler. It should be a good week for Kyler. But Kyler Murray lost the game against the Raiders. If we're just talking about Kyler Murray totality, he got down by 20. He did insane things to get them to overtime. In overtime, against a Raiders defense that had been on the field for the entire second half, basically, Kyler Murray turned it over on downs. The Raiders just needed to get in field goal range to win in overtime, and then that crazy fumble and Murphy returns it. Kyler lost the game by all intents and purposes. So I'm just not impressed. I couldn't be less impressed with the Cardinals win on Sunday. And the Rams, I mean, they're not exactly bounding out to a great start in their title defense. Definitely not the same start that they had in 2020, where we were, at this point in September, we were just drooling over the Matt Stafford, Sean McVay combo, and they kind of cooled off later and then won the Super Bowl. The coaching advantage is too much for the Rams. McVay over Cliff. The Rams, I think they're working things out. You know, Ramsey made the big play to save the day. I mean, you know, the fact that the day needed to be saved against the Falcons in week 2, you know, you could say, but they did save the day. Ramsey, you know, made the interception. Aaron Donald made the pressure. You know, those guys are still playing. They'll often do stuff like that. The line is 3.5. Rams to win by more than 3.5. I will take it. I think the Rams beat the Cardinals by more than that. All right, next game. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Talk about legendary names meeting. Actually, only their 5th meeting. Brady and Rodgers have only played 5 times. 4 times. This will be the 5th. Amazingly, Rodgers has played Tampa Bay Brady more than he played New England Patriot Brady. I mean, I guess it's not amazing. That was AFC and NFC, but hey, Brady was waiting for you in the Super Bowl, Rodgers. You know, Brady 2011, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018. Brady's right there. Some great Packers teams, some Aaron Rodgers MVP seasons. The Packers just keep losing in the NFC playoffs. So there should be a Brady Rodgers Super Bowl somewhere. It's amazing there wasn't in that decade. It reminds me of 49ers Bills in the 90s. Like how was that never a matchup? It's crazy. Packers Patriots is that for the 2010s. So, and this game is what? The 1 p.m. game on Fox. I'm just shocked at that. And that it's in week 3. These guys, Brady and Rodgers, have 7 MVPs between them. And they were the number 1 and number 2 vote getters for the most recent MVP. It's a week 3 afternoon game? I mean, I guess Rodgers was Sunday Night Football last week, and Brady will be next week when he plays Mahomes, but I won't even get to watch it because Mariota Falcons versus Geno Smith Seahawks is on. No, I'll be watching Red Zone anyway, but just pointing out, technically, Fox is going to give me Falcons Seahawks instead of this. I mean, this game is weird too. It's really not Rodgers versus Brady. It's just the teams are just not healthy. I know it's September. All the wide receivers are injured. I mean, today's Thursday practice report for the Green Bay Packers, Randall Cobb, Sammy Watkins, rookie Christian Watson, and Alan Lazard all did not practice. That's crazy. And then for the Buccaneers, of course, Brady does not have Godwin. Julio's not practicing on Thursday, didn't play last week. Perryman and Russell Gage are limited. And of course, Mike Evans is suspended for doing absolutely nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. He just ran 30 yards, blindside cheap shot at the guy for the second time. What did he do, though? Sarcasm intended. So the Brady Rodgers, that will get the promos. But this game's really going to be Packers running game versus Buccaneers defense. And the Bucs, have the little bit of disadvantage. Akeem Hicks will be out, though I guess Packers have some offensive linemen also ailing. So it's just a mess. It's just a mess. But Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Vita Vea, Levante David. That's what this game really is. It's in Florida. So I'm going to take the Buccaneers. I know that's it's basically a pick 'em. The Bucs are favored by 1.5. They're at home. I hate picking this game because of the injuries, but I'll take the Florida team in Florida for this one. Buccaneers by more than 1.5. And last game is the Sunday night game. San Francisco 49ers 1-1 versus the Denver Broncos 1-1. Two of the biggest stories early in the season. Russell Wilson's start in Denver, marked by Nathaniel Hackett's incompetence, and 49ers, of course, Trey Lance getting injured. Now they're back to Jimmy G. Nathaniel Hackett, if he has not hired somebody who has played 90,000 hours of Madden to just be in his ear and tell him what to do, then that's fireable to me. I've never seen anything like Hackett's start. I went into detail about his 64-yard field goal decision, which makes no sense at all. It does not hold water. And he actually came out and said, we should have went for it on 4th down. That quote, so be it, makes everybody feel good. What he said was, in a joking way, as if this is a joking matter, by the way, Nathaniel Hackett, this is football. He said in a joking way, we should have went for it because we missed the field goal. That's why? You should have went for it because it was a 64-yard field goal, 9 yards further than any field goal ever made in the stadium that you were playing. The line shouldn't have been the 46. And additionally, you shouldn't have wasted the 40 seconds deciding. You had plenty of time. Okay, not going to talk about that anymore. Nathaniel Hackett was even more memeable incompetence in week 2 as the Broncos fans committed an elite act of crowd sarcasm as Hackett couldn't make up his mind on things and they kept getting delay of games. So the crowd started counting down the play clock for their own offense. I love that. Broncos fans, good job. And the 49ers, of course, Jimmy G is back. Everyone's just kind of saying, oh, it'll be fine, right back into place. I think Jimmy G is going to be rusty here. I'm going to take the Broncos on this at home. I like the Broncos fans more than the 49ers fans. So, the Broncos are actually underdogs by 1.5 at home. I'm going to pick them to win. I think Russell Wilson's playing fine. I think the red zone issues will even out. And hopefully Nathaniel Hackett's got somebody in his headset telling him what buttons to press in Madden. Pat Surtain trending backwards or forwards towards playing. So I'm going to go Broncos on Sunday Night Football. Get this thing back on track in September. All right, Mukilteo Football Show. We will be back Sunday and Monday for Week 3 reviews. All right, have a good night and good night.